Excuse me, guys. We're doing a video survey about spiritual interests. We're actually videotaping different responses and things. You guys have a minute? Check it out.
Oh, sure.
Tell us what you think. It's on spirituality. Here, I'll put it over on this side so that you guys can see. So that's kind of the video right there. Why does losing something cause such a state of panic?
I don't know, dude. Like, you get so attached to something, becomes sentimental to you. Just to part with it, I don't know. It's just hard to cope with, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, Remus, what do you think? Why does losing something cause such a state of panic?
I have no idea.
Not sure yet?
Not sure.
The next question was, what have you ever lost that would cause you to throw a party if you got it back? If you got an answer, go for it too.
Probably my BMX bike. Definitely, if I lost that.
Be no good.
So much sentimental value on that thing.
Yeah. I have old snowboards like that. What about you, Remus?
Kids?
Kids? You have kids?
Yeah. Cool. Got stuff like this. I mean, these are replaceable.
They're not.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good point. So here's where it kind of takes the spiritual bent. If God, like if you think about God, what do you think God has ever lost that would cause him to throw a party if he got it back?
I guess people who didn't believe in God, who all of a sudden just started turning that direction, started believing in God, you know?
Yeah.
Non-believers became believers.
Yeah. What do you think, Remus?
God got nothing to lose.
Yeah. What about his kids?
We're all here.
All right. Well, I don't know if you guys have ever read much in the Bible, but Jesus. This is actually just like a modern way of telling one of Jesus' stories about a woman that lost some money, and she said she was willing to do anything. She tore the house apart looking for that money, right, for that coin. And Jesus then, at the end of that story, he said, "This is how God feels about each one of us. Whenever one of us comes back to God, just like you were saying, it says God is so excited by that, he throws a party. It's like his kids that maybe had gone away from him and then they decide to come back. He says that makes God so happy that he literally throws a party in heaven over it about one of us coming back to him. And so it's just kind of like a new way to share one of Jesus' stories and get people's perspective on it.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last question would be, would it be okay if Jack just told you real short, he'll keep it under like 2 minutes, just how God found him, how God got him back?
Oh, yeah, no problem. I think we have 2 minutes.
You guys have 2 minutes? Let's hear it, Jack.
Yeah, well, no, just, I grew up going to church, and I didn't really get into it very much. And then middle school-ish, I went to a retreat, and then that's where I really started, really getting into God, you know. And then on and off through high school, it was not really. But then ended up in Fort Lewis here, and Nate and Connect, it's really showing me that it's definitely the way to go, and just living for God is just the best way to do it, man.
So what's your guys' experience been with Christianity or Jesus or anything like that?
I don't know, it's kind of been up and down, I guess. But I believe in God, though.
So, in the Bible, it tells us that Jesus loves each one of us personally, that God loves each one of us personally. You ever hear that before?
Yeah.
You hear that, Remus? But it says there's a problem. And this is a big problem. It says that we're sinful. And another way to think of that word is just that we're selfish. You know, I do my thing. I do it my way.
So all of you guys go to church? Yeah. So myself, I never went to church.
Never been to church.
I have my own belief. I guess you don't have to go to church to pray. I get up in the morning, I pray.
Yeah. Here's what, and this is what Jesus said about the whole church thing. Like it wasn't so much about whether you go to church. Like, that wasn't the main thing. I think church is good, but it's not the main deal. And this is what Jesus said the main deal was, and it kind of gets back to what you're saying is He loves us. We're all sinful. We're separated from Him. He's perfect. I'm not perfect. I can't be with Him if He's perfect and I'm not perfect. But then the Bible tells me that Jesus came and He died for my sins, so that I could spend this life and the rest of eternity with God in heaven, and not in hell where I deserve because of my sins. So He already paid for your sins. Every wrong thing you ever did, He's paid for it. But He put it like this, guys. He said that each one of us has to come to a point where we make a decision about whether or not we're going to let Him come into our life and take control. So it means I've been going my way, and then I go, okay, God, I'm going to let You go Your way. And He says that when He comes into our life, He forgives us of everything. I mean, think of the worst sin that you've ever done. Think of all of them. He says He forgives it all when we let Him, when we ask Him. But each one of us has to come to that point where we're going to ask Him to come into our life and forgive us. You guys look like you got to get back to work, huh? Yeah. Okay, well, that's kind of what I wanted to share. Yeah, it was sweet talking to you too, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Trout, Remus, we're down here a lot. Maybe we'll see you guys again, yeah?
Word, man.
Okay, we'll see you.